Sometimes football is just like that. The best team doesn't always win, but the team that does just about what they need to do can pull off maximum points. Bahuduz, to score in the back of his own net in stoppage time, that to me, it's probably a worse way to lose than how we did earlier this morning against Uruguay. I didn't think Bahuduz had a particularly great game in general, but especially leading up to that, you really have to feel for the guy to potentially jeopardize your World Cup campaign when you have to play Spain and Portugal next, losing to the game that you should really win against Iran. You have to really feel sorry for them. And then you look at Amrabat, look at the injury he had. That's bad. That's bad. You saw him go stiff arm from that tackle when Morocco was on the counterattack. That's a concussion. That's a bad concussion, and it was the right decision to sub him off. His World Cup is probably over. His World Cup should be over because that did not look good at all. I think the problem with Morocco is for large stretches of this game, they were the highest quality side. They produced the most chances to score. The way they are moving forward, the fluidity in their attack and their passing was pristine. They looked like a European team there, and indeed, a lot of their players, they play for some of the best clubs in Europe. Iran, not as highly esteemed. This is an Iranian team that does have more international experience, the club level more than any previous Iranian generation of players for the national team, but this was a game on paper Morocco should have won, and they were the better team for large stretches of this game, but you have to give Iran massive credit because arguably they had the best chance in the first half through Sardar Azmoun. When they won the ball back in the middle of the pitch and went through the counter, he should have scored. And if it wasn't for Munir, the Moroccan goalkeeper, making those two clutch saves, you would have seen Morocco take a 1-0 lead. Iran take a 1-0 lead into the half. You know, I thought Sardar Azmoun, he either should have had a shot on goal or he should have passed it. But here's an insane statistic. Morocco completed 245 passes. This is a statistic on Reddit I saw. In the first half, more than 3 times than Iran finished in completed passes. And Iran did not register a single shot on goal, on target, in the second half until the own goal scored by Morocco. But you look at how Kirosh had this team set up. We saw it. We saw it in the first half when we knew Iran was going to be a team that absorbs pressure. And they stuck to their game plan. This was a match where the lesser team stuck to their game plan and they rode through. They won this, and this is Iran's first ever victory in a World Cup since 1998. They did not advance in that World Cup, but maybe they can finally go through for the first time. And there's a reason Iran hasn't conceded goals in qualifying. They didn't concede a single goal until the final day. The final day where they had a 2-2 draw against Syria. This is the best team in Asia. They finished as the best team in Asia in qualifying, and now they've dealt Morocco their first defeat in about a year. So, Iran, can they get a draw against one of Portugal, Spain? Puts you on 4 points, maybe it sees you through the group. I mean, that remains to be seen, but that's a great achievement. That really is. And for the most part, the only really Moroccan player today I thought that stood out, made a name for themselves, that had a good game, was Harit. Really disappointed with the way Hakim Ziyech scored. It was one of my choices, one of my 4 or 5 choices for a potential breakout star of this tournament. He had a really relatively quiet game. And Basufa, terrible. I think at the end of the day what it came to was this Moroccan team was not confident enough to put away their chances. They started off the game really well. They started off very well. And you thought that Iran, for the most part, would be chasing. But they stole it right at the end. But it's well-deserved. So, well done for Iran. And you have to think, if this match ended in a stalemate, a 1-1 or a 0-0, it doesn't help anybody. In fact, their chances of advancing drastically decrease because both of them have to play Portugal and Spain. So they only get 1 point off each other. You'd think at least now with Iran with the victory, they have an opportunity to go on and do something, provided another result today later in Group B goes their way. So, congratulations, Iran. Maybe you'll get out of the group stage. I told you guys Asia was going to have a better World Cup this time around. I did not pick Iran to advance. I did not pick them to advance, but I said Asia would have a better World Cup this year. And they already have. They didn't register any wins whatsoever in 2014. They got the first win in the first match. Let's see what Australia can do tomorrow. Let's see what South Korea and Japan can do later on in the week. So, well done, Iran. Hard luck, Morocco.